What's up, music fans of the internet? I'm Derek.
And I'm Kevin.
And together we're last week's album. We're bringing you the only reviews with two different views. And this week we're talking about Golden Daze by a band called Golden Daze. And we're asked the big question, does Golden Daze's debut sound more golden or more haze? Cheers, Kevin, everyone at home.
Cheers, Derek, and everyone at home.
Golden Daze is an LA-based duo comprised of Ben Schwab and Jacob Loeb. And according to Kevin, one of them was a former professional rollerblader. The wheels of life had turned from rollerblading and to music now for that member. And they're here with their self-titled debut album. So let's talk about what it sounds like. Kevin, what'd you think?
I thought this sounds like Lost in the Desert, Tame Impala happens upon a mirage of the Beach Boys.
Nice. I think Golden Daze sounds like the Beach Boys meets Band of Horses in what I like to think of as the Band of Beach Horses.
Or the Beach Band of Horses.
Or the Boy Band of Horses.
Please no.
So let's talk about some highlights. Kevin, what did you think?
Track-wise, I liked Low. I liked Never Coming Back, Sleepin' in the Sun, and Salt, all for different reasons. I thought Low was chill and inviting. Nice early track on the album. I thought Never Coming Back was pure fuzzy fun. Sleepin' in the Sun is sort of upbeat bliss with a fun little jam out, which stood out to me for that reason. And Salt just has a really great beat overall. What tracks did you like, Derek?
Nice. Actually, we're agreeing a lot here. Totally agree on Never Coming Back and Salt. Another one I liked, though, was Lean In. This was more slower paced, but I really thought it had a nice rise and fall to it. So just kind of a cool track there. So let's talk about some lowlights. Kevin, what'd you think?
I thought some of the tracks were a little too sleepy and dreamy, particularly Lean In. I'm going to disagree with you here on that one, Derek. And also Still Time, the last track, which I get, it's called Still Time. It probably should be slow, but a little too slow for me. And then also after a while, all the fuzz and reverb kind of starts to blend together, making some of the tracks hard to distinguish from one another. So what about you?
You know, we're in agreement there. Actually, Still Time, the closing track, I really agree with you. That one, just every sound seemed to drip in reverb. And I think that kind of culminates the monotony of that sound at that point. So that brings us to overall rating and asking the big question, does Golden Daze's debut sound more golden or more haze? Kevin, why don't you start us off?
I will start off answering the question a little bit of both. I mean, I think their name is perfect for these guys. It does sound kind of sunny and golden, and at the same time, it's very much a daze. It's very hazy. And so that mix of sounds creates a little bit of an interesting take. I thought that the best way that I've heard this summed up is surf rock meets shoegaze. And I thought that is exactly what these guys sound like, if not a Golden Daze. And, this isn't music that just really grabs you and shakes you. It kind of takes time to sink in. But it's got a nice effect in that way. And they're not really doing anything new or inventive, but the energy is fresh. And this is their debut album. So I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5. What do you think, Derek?
Nice. Well, to answer the big question, does Golden Daze's debut sound more golden or more haze? I think it's golden in short exposures, but definitely, prolonged exposure leads to heavy haze. Good things I thought here were really strong melodies, vocally and instrumentally. The vocals I thought were, at times, effects were too heavy, making the lyrics really hard to understand at times. I really like their sound. I totally agree with you. The interesting blend of pop, surf rock, and shoegaze, I thought it was an interesting take on all those. Bad, I think maybe a little too repetitive at times, just the overall sound. But I think adding variety to their sound as they continue to grow, as we mentioned, this is their debut album. I think they'll, really develop into something very interesting, especially based on this litmus test that is their debut album. So that being said, I'm giving this one a 3 out of 5. That's an overall score of 6 out of 10. So go check out Golden Daze by Golden Daze. But don't listen to it a whole lot right at first because you might get bored of it. But one thing you won't get bored of is joining us here at last week's album. Don't forget to subscribe. Shout out to the podcast. And join us again next time. We're bringing you the only reviews with 2 different views. As always, I'm Derek.
And I'm Kevin.
Cheers, guys.